What is going on, everyone? We are live. I'm sorry, Sam. For whatever reason, my intro would not play. I'm having horrible technical difficulties today. What is going on?
Well, I'm sorry. I was running late myself, so a bit.
It's all good. It's just like the villain. This is the Halloweeny villainous episode. They did that on purpose. The heroes got to somehow come through in the clutch. You know what I'm saying? Find out next time if they get a show going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how was your day besides that, Sam? Were you able to get your books?
I was able to get my books, and I got to hang out. I got to hang out with Bueller and Sleeper Reader and John Stout. So
John Stout, nice. Now you had a whole squad over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we
did. Nice,
yeah.
Man. That's a great evening. Portland Comic Crew in the house over there.
Well, yeah, we need Bob. Yeah, but
Bob, we all always miss Bob. He'll be there one day.
Yeah, he will. He will.
Apologize, everyone. Difficulties. Like I had the problem with Sam where he was like, Rhino. He kind of like heard the recording. My wife recorded it so he could hear a little bit, and he kind of heard himself go.
I don't know.
So we already started off the rails, so I'm not gonna even bother going crazy off the rails. Real quick before we get to why we're here. This is Whiplash Wednesdays. Always Christmas Day for all of us who love comics. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday was Christmas Eve for us, and today is Christmas Day every week, all year long. Ain't that awesome, Sam? Like we get to have Christmas every week.
We're special like that.
We're special like that, man. That's what when you get comics. I guess you could say the same thing if you're into movies, because every like Tuesday movies come out or something like that. But like it's not always a whole lot of movies, and because of the pandemic, you don't get a lot of movies. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Fridays around sometimes Tuesday, but Fridays video games come out. But the Wednesdays belongs to a comic book fan, and every week we are fans of all that other stuff, but every week we get to these awesome new comics. Some of them we don't like, but for the most part, most of the books I read and I do like. How about you? Same thing, right?
Oh yeah. I don't pick up bad stuff. I pick up good stuff.
There you go. So real quick, earlier today, of course, we always start the day with the Nick Comic Culture and his pull and his cadet video, which I always enjoy. That's probably he does some great shows, but that's probably my favorite because I get to see some of the toys after he showed the books. And have you ever checked out that show and checked out all the toys?
Yeah, I'm impressed by it. Man.
Yeah, and of course he always drops a video, his haul video that he draws a little bit later after that. Then after that, those books are the ones he's gonna review on the Nick and Night during the weekend. So we get lucky and get awesome Nick reviews all the time. And speaking of Nick, the reason why I started with him, he helped put together this wonderful video that me and Phable shot a video of us, going like a documentary type thing going into the city, you know what I'm saying? And we were able to premiere that today. He put that whole thing together, and they came out wonderful. Did you get to watch some of that, Sam?
What, today? No, I have not been able to watch it today. No.
Yeah. I know I saw you go on and say hello to everybody, but you're probably a busy man today, trying to.
A little bit, but I will watch it. I will be watching.
Yeah, what I'm talking about right here. A story of two backlog bros in the big city. A great video, a lot of fun. Nick, thank you so much for putting that video together. He made us look like $1 million. You know what I'm saying? And it came out fantastic. That was a fun day. A lot of joy came into that video of us putting it, all our hearts and going out there. Me finally meeting Phable for the first time, and it took a while because scheduling and all that. But we wanted that video to be the best it could be, and our guy Nick did that for us. Thank you so much again, Nick, for that video. And yeah, check it out on the rewind if anybody missed it. It is so much fun. I enjoy the heck out of watching that and then watching it again. I've already watched it, but when I premiered earlier, I was still trying to watch it and talk to people like I was doing a regular show. But yeah, that was pretty good. And then of course, I gotta catch this one on the rewind. I gotta admit, but chatting with the community, TM had actual Dracula. I guess his name is Adrian, but what I heard, he's actually a Dracula. So,
whoa,
who knew? Wow. Yes. I got to watch some of it before we get perks, but I gotta watch that whole show again on the rewind, TM. So I will watch that because his chatting with community is a lot of fun with a lot of people that you've been on that one too, Sam.
I have
chatting with the community. Yeah. One of the originators. And then of course we have our show. We'll talk about that in a second. And then of course our close of the day, our Mariano Rivera today will be two people. You know what I'm saying? Comic King Brandon and my man Missing Link. You know what I'm saying? I hope I got the right thumbnail, man. Last time I got the wrong one. How to elevate the status of the side characters. Yes, that's the new one. I can't wait to see that. It will premiere at 8 o'clock. We started a little late. Hopefully we don't run into that. Brandon, if we do, I apologize. We started late because of technical difficulties, but we're gonna try to get this show in before that show starts. Sam, so why are we here? Do you remember why are we here?
We're here. We are here to talk about our top 10 villains. And I guess we're going to do a bottom 5.
Least favorite villains. So yeah, that's what was on the thumbnail, comic book villains. So we're gonna my list is a little different than your list. You showed me your list. I wasn't able to show you mine because I did mine last minute.
I was like, I better show you my list real quick before, before the show.
Actually, I was thinking for 3 days, and it took me 3 days to get a list, and I still was crunching who I want. Because this is kind of hard. This is not a childhood favorite kind of thing. This was like I wanted like top 10 villains right now. What do you think is the top 10 of our favorites? Not of all time or what people think or modern.
Yeah.
But I kind of mix my all time with my modern. So
all right. Okay.
And I had a hard time. The worst time was getting my least favorite villains because I don't even remember what I said last time. So but you got a fantastic list. So how are we gonna do this? Top villains. I guess we do the top villains first, and then we'll do the bottom later because that's what people like, the comedy ones, I guess. So yeah, we're gonna do like top 10 villains. We're gonna go back and forth. Sam, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Okay, well, I'm gonna start from the bottom of my top 10 and work my way up. Is that okay?
Yeah. 10, 9, 8, 7. Yeah. Like that, right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go. My number 10 is is the Hobgoblin.
The Hobgoblin?
Yes.
Yes.
And it
All
doesn't
right.
matter if it don't matter if it's Jason McIndale or Ned Lee or whatever. It don't matter. Hobgoblin. Just yeah.
Yeah, I love the Hobgoblin from the animated series, Spider-Man the animated
Yeah.
series, and all that.
Yeah.
Our guy, which his name is eluding me right now, Luke Skywalker. Hamill,
Mark Hamill.
Mark
Yes.
Hamill. Yes,
Yes.
he does the voice of Hobgoblin,
It
which
does.
at the
Yes.
time I didn't know till a little bit after. You know what I'm saying? Not too long after, but I was like that voice is familiar. He voiced the Joker before. You know
In
what
the
I'm saying? So
Batman. Yes.
Mark
Yeah.
Hamill is the man, and
Yeah, he did.
he is one of my favorite villains because of Mark Hamill. Because I didn't really read. Actually, I did. Did have Hobgoblin comics, so I guess that's why I connected. Now that I think about it, from the old school Hobgoblin, I didn't get to read the original series 'cause I was a kid. I was
Yeah. Yeah.
like 4 years old when the storyline was happening, and it happened a few years. Right? What year did the Hobgoblin thing was going on? You remember,
Uh,
like mid '80s,
like,
something like that.
yeah, about I want to say from about like 83 on to about 87, something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, just about So yeah, so that was a phenomenal villain. That was a great pick by you.
I
Um,
think.
you think so? What's in
Yeah.
your list, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
what about this villain that make? Because I went rambling on how special he is to me. How
Okay.
special? What makes him special? Why you put him on your list?
Um. Shoot. He is actually like the first Goblin that I remember growing up with before I read the older stuff with the Green Goblin.
Okay.
So yeah, and he's awesome. He's got a got that orange with the gray, and he's got that mask, and
Yeah.
he did, he's
Yeah,
always trying to
yeah.
he's always trying to get uh Spider-Man down,
He's always trying to outdo Green Goblin too. The little
Yeah,
bit of a rivalry going there.
right. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
he in the beginning he didn't have the serum, did he? Until like
No,
they retconned it later. You know what I mean?
he yeah, it took him a little while to get it, but he finally got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the beginning he could get his butt whooped. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then like he got the
he
serum.
had like cracked ribs, and he's like I don't know how Spider-Man does it. He's so strong.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, but he turned it around, and
Yeah, yeah.
we got the hot gun. One of the coolest villains. I know he's a copy of the Green Goblin, just a
Oh, it
different
don't
suit,
matter. Yeah,
different style, but it's all good, man.
yeah,
I enjoy the Hot Goblin. Like I said, Mark Hamill, he
yeah.
he made him popular for me.
He did.
Um, Before I go to my top 10, I forgot to do something. I forgot to go to the chats. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying? Let me go to the
Yeah.
chats real quick, guys.
Okay.
I'm doing this off my phone. Usually I have my iPad, but technical difficulties. See, I don't even have the background um thing I
Yeah.
have and everything. I just hope that don't happen when we have multiple folks up here and everybody going "Arr, arr, arr, arr," you know what I mean? But let me go real quick to say hi to everybody. Nick, Comic Culture Station says happy Whiplash Wednesday. You know what I mean? Chamorro Cinema, Manny, Station, my man. Hope you're doing good. We miss you. Can't wait for your triumphant return on your show, the Tomorrow Show, one of my favorite shows on Whiplash Wednesday. But keep on keeping on. My man, James Felt Station, thanks for joining us. Like
Yeah.
everybody, thanks for joining us. I know we started late and then everything went bananas. You know what I'm saying? But he said Happy New Comic Book Day and Whiplash Wednesday, making waves, Station, my friends. Um, Sleepy Reader, your homeboy, you
Yeah.
had lunch with Sleepy Reader.
I just saw him like a little while ago.
The Sam is all jacked up on Mocha Express.
I
Express,
was.
express,
I was.
express. um, no problem. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. John Thomas is in the house. What's going on, John Thomas? He's one of the awesome backlot bros. What is that?
Yeah,
Who knows? We don't know. Whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Maria, thanks, hun. She's alerting everybody that I've had audio issues, technical issues everywhere, comic book issues, all kinds of issues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we love having silly. Sometimes you just gotta laugh at it. You know what I mean? Sometimes just like the Sam Tangle guy web helping us out.
Technical
Thank you, Sam
issues.
Tangle web guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, mom. Saying hi to my mom. She's got a
Hey.
new phone, so she's able to see my show. Before the battery died, she couldn't see my show, and then she got an old tablet. So she go back and forth, and
Oh,
then I set up the Roku on the TV, so she can see me, but she can't write something. So now she can. So station to my mom.
nice, nice, nice.
Nice. TM Nerdy, station, my man. Thanks. Nice having you here. Nice having you here. Whiplash Wednesdays. Great shows all around. Thanks everyone who said hi to me. I was in the comic shop now. We'll be driving. But listen, if the show gets up and running, yeah, man. Yeah. It got show running. I'm saying hi to everybody. But
Right.
I like to say
Okay.
hi to everybody.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Aiko Station.
Station.
Aiko knee. She added the knee up in there. K Titus. ¿Cómo estás usted, amigo? My man from the Rising Sun, Samurai Ken. He puts up great videos, shouting people out all the time. I've known him for a long time now. I feel like ages compared to the newbies that are out here. There's nothing wrong with newbies, you know what I'm saying? But he's been for a while, you know what I'm saying? I've known him for a while. 62 Lefty Station, my man. Station,
Hey.
thanks for joining.
Hey.
I'm a Ruthie Station. Thanks for joining. I always appreciate everybody on here. Perry Station Perry.
Hey, Perry.
So everybody, thanks for. I think I got. Oh wait, took on
Yeah.
Pedro up
Station.
the show. Oh, good and the bad and the ugly. Yeah, this is what this was today. Ex-wives and the IRS make that list.
Whoa. Okay.
You got. Oh, you guys make me laugh. I swear. Um. Uh. Uh. So 62. I'm gonna just keep going. Herm, you should give Maria a raise. Yeah, I should.
Yeah, yeah.
I should get a new step ladder, a higher one, so she could. Oh man, it's fun. Okay, so I'm gonna give my top 10, my number 10.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. You do that.
this guy is new in my list of top villains.
Oh.
Like I said, I had a list of like 35 villains. I had to
Oh,
crunch it
wow.
to 10 because
Wow.
there's so many. Yeah, I love villains, and then I had to take out the video game villains and take out. I was like, let me leave it comic book villain because then I'm gonna open up a can of worms. Like
Yeah, yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
day I had to do an all-time villain with everything for everything. Can you
Yeah.
imagine that? Ooh. But you interested in doing that? All-time villains, like
I
everything.
could do that. I could do that actually. I could do that.
Gotta work on that
Yeah,
one. I can't. Whew. Let's think about that in the future. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
my number 10 is Omni Man from the Invincible. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay.
Because if you watch the cartoon, he was brutal, man, and a complete jackass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he believed in what he believed in his
Like,
planet,
yeah.
and he think we in Earth, or if they call that Earth there, like we were nothing. Like, were you able to see any of those cartoons?
Oh, I saw the whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I watched the whole
brutal.
thing. I was blown away. I was like, whoa.
I read bits and pieces of the book. I have the companion down here, and I'm going through it. I want to read the whole thing, and I review it on my show with Fargate. But
Yeah.
yeah, I had to put him on my list. Like I said, I'm trying to put new with the old, crunch them up
Hmm.
together. I had to put him because he's like a Superman, a bad
Yeah.
Superman. You know what I'm saying? With the red kryptonite that turns him bad.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about his weakness because I haven't read anything about weakness yet. But
Yeah.
he's Superman without the kryptonite, but he's the bad guy. So very scary, very scary. What do you think about that pick?
I that that's a great pick. You know, I mean, and it
I
makes
came in
sense.
with the punches. You know what I'm saying? I came in with like,
Yeah, you did.
I'm ready, ready, drinking my
That's
tea.
a
You know
great
what I'm
pick.
saying? Because my voice, I'm getting raspy. It's getting starting to get a little
Oh,
chilly out here. You know what I'm saying? I love it.
gotta warm up the vocal cords. Come on.
Me. So yeah, so that's my pick. I don't have a whole lot information. I'm a man, Omni Man, of course. You know what I'm saying? He's a Voltermite species. He what else can you say? You know what I mean? Invincibles #1 is where he came out. Um uh and all that. So supposedly he's in the Supremes 53. Um
Yeah.
September of 1997 is his first appearance, supposedly. So Nolan Grayson, what can you do? What are you gonna do, right? Omni Man, my #10.
Yeah.
Hope you like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what's your #9?
Well, okay. Well, my number 9. Even though lately he's been acting more heroic, uh, it's just I gotta go with Absorbing Man. I mean, this guy has had from time to time with the Hulk, with the Spider-Man, with the Avengers. He's just out there causing chaos. You know.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
formidable opponent, man, because he
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
absorbs everybody. Like I read
Yeah.
the old school comics, and
Yeah.
like they defeat him in a silly way, but like he's
Yeah.
almost undefeatable. You know what I mean? Like how do you
He
defeat
can
that
be.
man? You know what I mean?
Yeah. If he were smarter, then it'd be a lot harder to beat him. I'll tell you that.
You're smarter.
Yeah.
You gotta work harder. You gotta be
Yeah.
to
That's
be
true.
smarter. You know what I mean?
That's
That's just
true.
how it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, Absorbing Man, #9. Like I
Yeah.
said, I when I started doing my reread and all the Marvel comics, I read it from the beginning and all that. And uh, who he gave Thor a hard time. I don't. Did he fight the Hulk too? I think he fought the Hulk
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah. He fought Hulk
He fought
multiple times.
everybody, and he's like giving everybody a hard time. And like
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
he was, I think he was also in Secret Wars, right? Like we
He
read, was it Secret
was.
Wars? He was in that. I forgot if
Yes.
he was in the Gauntlet, Infinity Gauntlet,
No,
event.
I
I
don't
think he was
remember
in
him
there.
from that. No.
What happened?
No, I don't remember him from Infinity Gauntlet.
I don't think he might have had an appearance, but I don't remember him. But
Maybe. Yeah.
for each, for each his own, he's still wreaking havoc. But now, like you say, a little bit of an anti-hero now. He's trying to do
Hello.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they kind of do that with a lot of the old school villains. They're trying to make them anti-heroes. Like a lot of people
Yeah.
get mad at that. But
Yeah.
awesome, awesome, awesome #9. And I'm gonna give you my #9. You finished with the Absorbing Man, or you
Yep.
want to keep going?
No, you go right ahead.
All right. So my #9, and I went into out of Marvel, out of DC, still,
Okay.
still, and I have to put in my man, and I know TM's gonna like this one, the Violator
Okay.
from Spawn. I had to. I had to.
Okay. Okay.
After, I mean, I remember liking him in the past when I seen him in a movie a long time ago.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
then I kind of forgot about him a little bit, but I always liked the clown part. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. Yeah.
then recently, earlier this year, reading Compendium, going over it with TM Nerdy. Um, yeah, he's become my favorite Spawn villain. I know there's other ones and all that, and maybe that's the popular one. It's like, oh, you pick all the popular ones, but those are the good ones. There's a reason why they're popular. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do, right? But
Yeah. I can understand that
so
pick.
Violator the Clown, which he showed up in issue #2 in Spawn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a kind of demon that was like born in hell. You know what I mean? And mad at Spawn because he's born in Earth, and Malbolgia
Yeah.
Malbolgia
Yeah.
likes him more than the Violator. You know what I mean? The Violator
Yeah.
got, oh my lord. But I just love that whole thing with him. I love it when he turns into the clown and he's a complete jerk. You know what I'm saying? And he's my favorite. He's becoming one of my all-time favorite villains. And now that I'm starting to read more and more Spawn, I always look forward to him showing up in those books.
Yeah.
Did you like the Violator and all that and read that in Spawn?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean that's a great pick right there because yeah, I remember picking up those Spawn issues and reading about him, and I'm like, this guy's nasty. This guy is just he gets jealous of Spawn and stuff.
That's what drives him is the jealousy, the gnaw of his boss like an earthling over him, his child. You know what I mean? That's how he sees it. So love that guy. I had to put him in the list. He would be higher, but some of these villains on the top of the list trumps him just a little bit. But this might be the last, maybe not indie type villain in my list, but I thought I'd put him in there because I thought they deserve to be in there. You know what I mean? I don't know if you made an honorable mentions list, but I have 3 honorable mentions before my number 1. So it's okay if you didn't. I forgot to tell you to make one. But I'm sure as we go through, you can think of 3 more villains that you like that you didn't put in there. But keep on keeping on. What is your number
8? My number 8 is the Green Goblin.
The Green Goblin.
Okay, you do it much better than me. Okay.
The Green Goblin.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
It's a good thing the lights are on because if it were dark and you had that voice going, I'd be tripping out.
That Spider-Man always giving me a hard time. He hates me. He really do hate me. Everybody hates me.
Okay, now you're going a little crazy there. But okay.
Okay. All right. Focus. And your boy Derek, our guy, says Hypno Hustler is the ultimate villain, guys. Just saying.
Well,
He's just saying.
Maybe that makes the honorable mention. I don't know.
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. So yes, the Green Goblin.
The Green Goblin. I gotta say, the Green Goblin is just the top one of the top Spidey villains because he just likes to make it personal all the time, you know, and it gets real crazy with that guy. So
yeah, I would not talk about the retconning that makes sense.
Oh no.
we always seem to go back to that a little bit, but about Norman Osborn, which is like I like both variations. There's been other kinds of Green Goblins. But Norman Osborn, of course, is the top one, and Harry Osborn makes a pretty damn good.
Impressive, yes.
Impressive, and both can't stand Spider-Man, Peter Parker. You know what I mean? When Norman Osborn finds out who Peter Parker is, who Spider-Man is, Peter Parker drives his life mad and all like that. And we talked about him in the past, so I'm not gonna go too long. But Amazing Spider-Man 14, all-time great issue. I wish I'd get me a copy of that, but I'm okay with my True Believers. You know what I mean? I'm good with that one. You know. But yeah, you have other one. You have that Bart Hamilton and Phil Urich with those guys.
Yeah.
You know. Which one was the one that was good? Was it Urich or the Hamilton guy?
Phil Urich.
He was the one that was good. That had a little bit of a good guy.
Yeah.
They had like 12 issue series with him, right?
Yeah, it was like a 12 or 13 issue little series there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to say much about the Green Goblin because he's actually in my list too, but he's a little bit higher up. So I don't know if I'll be able to add to that later, but Green Goblin, great choice. You have an all-time favorite issue of the Green Goblin or arc? Usually I talk about this with the other villains, but I'll do it with this one.
I mean, you can't beat that Gwen Stacy getting bumped off the bridge and then later Spider-Man just wailing on Green Goblin and then
almost killing him.
here comes the Goblin glider, and then he does a flip, and then Green Goblin gets impaled.
Bah.
So that's awesome.
Apparently, that was supposed to be his real death. You know, he was supposed to never come back, but it was retconned years later. After, you know, Harry Osborn, which was his everything that Harry Osborn happened with the drug abuse, overdose almost, and problem, the jealousy eventually, and all that. His anger, you know what I mean? His father's anger toward, you know, went into him and all that. Being his father never loved him, you know what I mean? So my favorite storyline is the child within, because that sets up.
Okay. That is very good. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that as a kid, I read it a lot. That sets up for his death eventually in Spectacular Spider-Man 200. So that's my favorite arc. You're probably not gonna have an arc for everything, but Green Goblin, you have to have a favorite arc for that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So great pick. I'm a little bit. I mean, I saw the list, but I'm a little bit curious why the higher ones made it higher on your list, because Green Goblin is an all-time great Spider-Man villain.
Yeah.
But he's still on your list. What are you gonna say?
Yeah. Well, no. I will. I will try and explain to you about why certain people made it higher up. So
yeah, okay, it's cool.
Yeah,
like I said, nothing wrong with this list. This is just it was really hard to make this list for me, especially. I was adding the indie guys in there because I felt like they needed some love, especially the two guys I mentioned. Yeah. So that was number 8 for you. Yeah. So number 8 for me. And it was hard to put him in this list. Okay. I was trying, because I'm a huge X-Men fan. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have many X-Men guys in this list, and I should have. But there's one in the honorable mentions, but he's kind of like an anti-hero. There's a reason why I didn't throw him in this list. This guy I put in this list has to be in here. He was for his cameo appearance was X Factor number 5, if you remember.
Okay. Yes.
June 1986, and his first appearance was number 6. You know who I'm talking about? Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember him being all over the comic books growing up as a kid. Ultimate X-Men villain. In the cartoon, he scared the crap out of me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Able to like grow like a titan. You know what I mean? Yeah. All his ability. Like being one of, maybe considering at the time, I don't know if they retconned it, the original mutant.
I think he was like one of the very first mutants.
Baka's awesome, yeah. Yeah, so yeah. What I don't know if you, I don't remember, I don't think you have him on your list, but do you like him as a villain or X-Men villain or something like that?
I totally do. I mean, you could do all kinds of stories with him. He's an amazing villain that just pretty much came out of nowhere, like X Factor. Remember?
Yeah.
You know, he just popped up and then boom, he just was all over. Yeah, he's awesome.
And he took one of my favorite villains that's not even in any of my lists, Archangel. He created the Archangel and all that. How can you explain how he's able to use his powers? Like, can you do like a quick synopsis of his power or something like that? Like, it's hard to explain it, right? Like, you know what he can do, but
yeah. Okay, he's able to grow a little bit. You know, he's very smart. He's very smart. He's able to make Angel into Archangel, and he's all about
it's like these mystical powers he's got, right? It's just like, what?
Yeah. He's able to put together like little groups that are like very powerful, and
so Archangel, Apocalypse, had to put him on the list, and he's my only, I think, X-Men villain on this list. There's the other one everybody knows about, which I'll talk about him later. I'm throwing away my thing, but we'll talk about him later. But
Yeah.
had to throw him on the list. So that was my number 8. Sam,
Okay.
what is your number 7?
My number 7 is the Juggernaut.
The
That's correct.
Juggernaut. Oh.
And I know they tried to make the Juggernaut kind of sort of heroic here and there, but
Lately, yeah, another
yeah, but
anti-hero type.
uh, he's pretty awesome when he's straight up a villain. Uh, he's gone against the X-Men multiple times. Gone against
The
Spider-Man.
unstoppable Juggernaut. He's very
Went
unstoppable
against
for a long time.
Spider-Man. Went against Thor.
Yeah.
Just yeah, he's tough. He's powerful. I mean, yeah.
What issue I used to have it in my head. Issue he first came out in.
He's
You
like
remember his first appearance? Like I know it. I just don't remember it right now. But I remember reading.
I think it's X-Men 13.
You might be right. It's one of those. And
Something like that. Yeah.
and I remember he was so powerful they didn't know what to do to stop him.
Yeah.
You know
You
what
had
I'm
to
saying?
do like magical stuff to like take him somewhere or something.
I think it was. I mean, not that they never was afraid after. I think they were more afraid, like reading those early issues. They were more afraid of the Juggernaut than anybody ever appeared. It's like Professor Xavier was really afraid. Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
him being his adopted brother and
Stepbrother.
stuff.
Yeah.
A stepbrother. There you go. That's what I meant to say. The stepbrother and all that. And then, of course, the Juggernaut. What's his name? What's his name?
Uh, Kane Marco.
Cave Marco. He
Yes.
always didn't like his stepbrother and which did nothing to him. You know what I mean? But like he ended up being sent to camp because he did something to his stepbrother, and he always thought his father loved him more, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It was really, really good. Juggernaut is one of the greatest Spider-Man stories. Yeah,
It is.
Spider.
I agree with that. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. That story is good. I
Yes.
remember
Very
purchasing
much.
those 2 books before they got really, really hot, and I was like, I'm so
Yeah.
lucky.
I got lucky earlier in the year, and I picked up. I was able to find both of those issues, and I was so thankful to find them. So
Maria said, Juggernaut first appearance, X-Men number 12,
number
July
12.
1960.
There you go.
Thank you. You were close. It was. I know I
Yeah.
read them, so it was one of those. I know the omnibus is gonna come out soon. I didn't get to pre-order it yet, but when it comes
I'd like
out, I might get the.
to order that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's too late to pre-order ahead of time,
Yeah.
but when it comes out, it might be available. It might sell out fast. Who
Yeah.
knows? But I think that first printing is gonna be evergreen with Kirby and Stan Lee
Yeah.
at the beginning stuff in the beginning. So
Yeah.
great pick, man. That I can't go any wrong with the Juggernaut, the unstoppable Juggernaut. Like I
Yeah.
said, one
He's
of the
awesome.
first really unstoppable, can't stop, like probably rivals the Hulk. Like they could actually really fight,
That's
especially at
true.
that
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
Yeah. So great pick, man. I don't know if I can top that 7, but
Okay.
I picked one guy. I'm going to the DC route. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad.
Oh no. Go ahead.
This guy, I always reason why he stays on my list because I probably a special place in my heart always. Me being a Batman fan and everything. So that issue, I used to have it. I don't have it anymore. But Vengeance of Bane, number 1, when he first
Oh,
came out. You know what I mean?
I thought you were gonna go with Joker with that, but you went Bane. Okay.
Bane. So he's one of my all-time favorite. Um, I just that image, like I showed in one of my shows before, of him breaking Batman's back. Like,
yeah, that guy's
when
tough.
that's one of the issues I made sure I retrieved at the time, and I got me a copy of that. I wish I got a second one. It's easy to get. Maybe I'll get a second one.
Yeah,
You
I
have a
got
copy?
like I got a. Well, I got a. It's either effects. Maybe it's a. No, it's a dollar comic of that. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So yeah. So I do have. I think there's three. They're like compendiums. I don't know if they
Okay.
call them compendiums, but it's that Nightfall series. There's a
Okay.
three. There was 3 volumes of it. I did pick. One day I'm gonna sit down and just read all of that again and probably review it or something like that. I don't know if you ever want to do that because I don't know if you have those, but
No.
you know what I mean.
I mean, I like some certain Batman stories and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
my all-time favorite. The whole thing. Batman has come back. You know,
Yeah.
the other guy. What's his name? That comes in. Oh man, he's eluding me right now.
Oh, Azrael. Was it Azrael?
Azrael. Yeah,
Yeah.
Azrael. You're right. He
Yeah.
becomes the
Yeah.
new Batman, but he's a complete dumbass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I read some of those, and I was like, oh no, 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 this is horrible.
Yeah, yeah. Some of those weren't good, but
Yeah.
they had to bring. I don't know if they brought Bruce Wayne back too early, but I think they eventually did. But that might
Yeah.
have been part of the plan, right?
Yeah. I agree.
So that's one of my all-time favorite Batman stories because I grew up with that story, the Nightfall
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
I had to put him in my list as my number
Mhm.
7.
Yeah.
And I think he could fight with Juggernaut for a little while. You know what I mean? He could hang a
For
little
a little
bit.
bit.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I don't think he would win, but he,
No.
he could he could go blow to
Yeah.
blow with him for a little while. You know what I mean?
Maybe for a little bit. A little
For a little bit, just
bit.
a little bit. But my next guy can. But I'll talk about my next guy after you talk about your next guy. You're number 6.
Yes, I am. Are you ready?
I'm ready to rumble.
Guess what? I went with the ever charging like 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 head first the Rhino. That's who I went with.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Rhino. I
the
remember you
Rhino.
telling me you like the Rhino a lot. It's
I
one of your,
do.
your
Yeah,
favorite villains.
yeah.
You were able what issue he what's his first appearance? Was it 51 or
Like issue 40, Amazing Spider-Man.
damn, I was way off. Why did I say 51? Issue 40, you're right. You're right, because
Yeah,
Bueller has it.
50,
You know what I mean?
51
Well, I
was
had it.
like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. No, the Rhino started out as a Spider-Man villain, and then they thought, oh man, this guy might be a little bit too much for Spider-Man, so they moved him over to Incredible Hulk, and he's been an Incredible Hulk villain pretty much, except for here and there. Spider-Man, he still goes after Spider-Man sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, he had a lot of issues in the
Yeah,
beginning, and then like he actually tried to change his life a little bit because his family and stuff
yeah,
is that whole part of it. But
yeah,
yeah, he always be a Spider-Man villain in the end. Like he got mad at Spider-Man that one in the beginning of Nick Spencer run, if you
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that, and he
yeah,
tore up a building or helped
yeah,
tear up a building. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So pretty solid villain. Um,
yeah.
can't
I
complain. I
just,
like the. Go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, I don't know, I just like the look of him. He's got like a horn, and he's all in the gray, like a rhino, and he just likes to charge people, as you might have seen from like certain video games. He likes to
You
charge.
see it in the
Yes.
video games where you have to flip over him to beat him.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
just punch him right away. You gotta flip over him and use objects around
Yeah.
the wherever
You
you
know.
could catch.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was. I love his. He was great in the Spider-Man the animated series too. You know what I mean? The
Yes.
voice and everything.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
voice actors. I always go back to that because they have the best voice actors of all those
They did.
cartoon shows. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like the other ones had good ones too, but I'm talking about all the Spider-Man cartoon shows. I think that one had the best voice. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great. Like number 6. Um, love the number 6 pick. Rhino's one of my favorite Spider-Man villains too. Like
Yeah,
he always have a special place in my heart. He didn't make my countdown, but he's still awesome. Great
yeah,
pick. Now I'm gonna go to my number 6. My number
yeah.
6, and my number 6 just beat out my number 7 because this is another comic book from the DC world that got
Okay.
me. That got me like I said, as a kid, it was mostly Marvel. There was only 2 DC books I was buying, and it was Batman, and the other
Yeah.
one you're already gonna guess it, Superman. So, uh, you saw I like Bane. I like brutality. I guess sometimes I like the big
Ah,
fighting,
okay,
big.
okay.
I guess I
I
like
know,
Vince McMahon,
I know
like
where
the
you're
big
going.
guys. But
Okay, I know where you're going here. Okay.
yes, Man of Steel number 18, December 1992. I remember it being a kid looking at that and you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I saw the issue a year ago. I wish I pulled the trigger on it, but
I remember. I picked that up off a spinner rack when I was. Yeah.
yeah.
I think I was.
I
I
couldn't
was
get
married.
yeah. I couldn't get them all cuz they would sell out. They were all sold out. I had 2 or 3 of them, but I ended up getting the trade cuz they're probably the most printed trade at the time. I had like 2 copies of it. Like and I didn't even have to buy it. They were given to me. But of course Doomsday, guys. Doomsday, the death of Superman, that flag, his cape looking like a flag waving, you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
big death. Um it, it crushed me. It crushed me. I love
Yeah.
the Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves. The Superman, the
Okay.
other
Okay.
Reeves,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Christopher Reeves, Keanu Reeves.
Christopher.
He's everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Christopher Reeves, Superman movies, I enjoy those. I love them so much.
Okay.
So our guy Phable loves the heck out of those movies, and Superman is one of his favorites because of it. Batman still edges out Superman for me, but as a kid, I still love Superman. And seeing that death crushed me, crushed me. I wasn't able to get that issue to like the
What?
reprint.
What?
The death,
Eight, oh, the. Are you talking about the 75 issue
yeah,
75?
the one the death
I
of Superman.
my grandmother, she was able to get that for me for Christmas. I remember,
Oh, that is amazing.
and it was
Um,
in the black bag, yeah,
nice, nice.
yeah.
I ended up getting all the other issues, like the white one. I think I ended up picking it up. I think I have it somewhere in my collection. But for whatever reason, that issue I have to go get it. I thought I had it, but I don't. But it's not very expensive. You can still get it. But
Yeah.
it it changed my comic book life. You know what I mean? And then following up with all the different Superman, the 4
Mhm.
Superman. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
had the Man
I
of
remember
Steel. You
that.
had Superboy.
Yeah.
You had um
The
the
who's the guy? Not
the
Vindicator. What? Not
uh
Violator. It was something with a V. I thought. I don't know.
yeah. I kind of drawing a blank right now.
Yeah.
On
He was like
they got
he was like
Cyborg Superman,
yeah, yeah. He was like
Superman.
partially cyborg or
Yeah,
something. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then you had the majestic Superman, which I can't get his name right now.
But you
The
had
one
Steel, you had Superboy,
you got
um,
Cyborg
yeah, and then
Superman,
yeah.
and the magic type one Superman.
Oh,
God,
I don't.
I can't get his name. Somebody in the chat help me right now. I'm
Yeah,
drawing a blank.
help
Stephen
him
M.
out. Come on.
Station. Thanks. JT still up in there. John Thomas up in here. Uh, Maria Station still up in here. Comic Crazy, our buddy. Comic Crazy Station. Feel me? Um,
Come on.
dear,
He
how
says
did I forget
eradicated.
that?
He
Yes,
says
the Eradicator.
eradicated.
Yes, that's him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you. Like
He
once
turned.
I read that, I was like, come on, Herm.
Yeah, I know that guy. That guy turned evil. I know that.
Yeah, he turned evil. He became a total douche. You know what I mean? And the cyborg Superman was like, uh, trying to pretend he was the real Superman. Was trying to convince Lois, but Lois will always look at him kind of weird. So that whole thing I loved until finally the return of Superman, and I remember that comic and
He
he
was all in
returned.
black. Remember that?
Yeah, he was all in black and he had a mullet, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the mullet. The
Superman
mullet
and his
area.
mullet.
Yeah.
So yeah, what can I say, man? I freaking love the heck out of that whole series. So I had to mention Doomsday will probably always be in my top 10 because of that. I know there's probably better Superman villains, but to me, Doomsday is the shiznit of my list. So and that guy I said we can kind of like whoop a lot of people's butt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to see a fight between Doomsday and the Incredible Hulk. Just do shit out, man. Do shit out. Like
that'd be a real tough one. I'm
that'd
a
be a
Marvel
tough
guy.
one.
I'm a Marvel guy, and that'd be real tough for my
That'd be
for
real tough, man. He took out Superman. So but I think the Hulk, strong wise, can go toe to toe with
take him to the limit.
take him to the limit. Okay, I'm getting off track here. I'm getting off track. So that was our top 6 to 10, which is pretty cool. Before we get to one, we'll do honorable mentions. But so far so good. You like the list so far? You like how this thing's going?
I think we both had good lists so far. Yes.
All right, let's keep rock and rolling. And what is your number 5? Number 5, 5, 5, 5.
Okay. Well, let me just say there's a guy who just came upon the scene one day, and the Hulk's life was never the same after he met this guy. And I'm talking about this guy. He's got a big head. I'm talking about the leader.
He's got a big head, that guy.
He's got a big head.
Got a big head, that leader guy.
I just need to explain that. Like he just try and find little ways to try and start stuff with the Hulk, and it just never quite worked out for him. So,
yeah, just yeah. What can I say about that guy? You know what I mean? He always, like you say, he was trying to start stuff. Very smart dude. You know what I mean? Super smart, but he just can't like.
He can't compete.
I mean, he took him to the limit in his own smart way. You know what I mean? Especially those early comics, he really got.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. The Hulk was his whole life was all messed up when he met that guy. Come
on. You remember what issue he came out in? I don't even remember.
Like Tales to Astounders.
It was one of them.
63. Oh, 64.
It was one of them. Woo! I used to know. I just all those numbers just leave my head. You know what I mean? But
I'm
yeah,
not the only.
pretty...
Okay.
What happened? What happened?
I said I'm not the only one. Okay.
Yeah. You're not the only. You're a lot better than I am with the numbers and stuff like that. But yeah, the leader is pretty decent. Bad guy. I know you into the Incredible Hulk, so I knew you were gonna put Hulk villains up in this list. I was like, I was waiting for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mullet mania, baby. Yeah. So that was a pretty solid. You have a favorite storyline with the leader?
Well, I mean, since you asked, I have to say, the one that first introduced me to him, and it first introduced me to the whole comic book. It was like the storyline was like from Incredible Hulk 223 to 226 or 227, something like that. And the leader, yeah, it was crazy. I love that. That's one of my go-to Hulk storylines. So.
There you go, guys. Go to. Yeah, my throat's already giving up on me. It's like, that's it, no more show. Great pick, Sam. Great for number 5. I'm gonna go over to my number 5. I don't have a lot to say about the leader. Like I said, I read a lot about him. I know he's a really good villain for the Hulk, and I don't have a lot of memories towards him, but I do know who he is. I read a lot of those comics. Peter David stuff. He's in that a lot. So great villain, bro. Great villain. Super smart. Sometimes the smart ones are the best villains because they find a way to outsmart the hero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they end up losing in the end. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Superhero business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what superhero is. You know what I mean? But my number 5 is a lot of people like usually wouldn't go here, but I thought this was my last indie. But I was like, I might have another one, and I do.
Yeah.
It's technically indie, but it came off the cartoon first, and I did read him in a few comic books. He's really bad villain, and I don't know how to ease into this one. He has trouble with a bunch of teenagers. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the teenagers with attitudes. You know, I didn't throw them in. I didn't know any Power Rangers in here, but talk about the original teenagers where we grew up with. You know what I mean? They used to be really small, and then they got some mutagen and just got really big. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So supposedly Daredevil's ooze that blinded him went down in the sewer.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right. So
I got you.
their enemy, which was in the very first issue in 1984, is one of my favorite villains as a kid. I couldn't stand him in the cartoon. I read a few of the comic books, couldn't stand him in there. The Shredder, Oroku Saki. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah.
Couldn't stand him in the movies. You know what I mean? I was like, I hope they get him. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do, man? Kevin Eastman, creator. You know.
Yeah.
So
he is a great villain. Yes.
Loved the villain. He just couldn't stand those turtles. And I know like he's more cartoon than comic book, but he still counts as a comic book because he was in the comic books. He was created in the comic books first. And I enjoy some of the comic book stuff too. Like I said, I did read some of those early comic books after the first one. I never read the first one. I wish I was able to reprint the first one again so I can have a copy of that. Because those are expensive.
Yeah.
So you have any history with the Ninja Turtle? Did you like the cartoon and all that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, back when I was like
Ninja Turtles,
back when I was like I don't know, I think I was like maybe a freshman in high school. I had like a big old Ninja Turtle poster up on my wall, and I remember some of them Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic books. I read some of them, and they were pretty cool. And then the movies came out, and I was like, "Whoa, this is awesome!" You know. So
this is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ninja Turtle movie was probably my most watched movie ever as a kid. I watched that so much. I probably burned my tape. You couldn't see it anymore. It got so burnt out. But so I love that movie. I love the Shredder become one of my favorite villains, and he's still one of my favorite villains. I still have him on that list. I still had to include him. Like I said, I left out a lot of villains, but I had to put him in it. And also, I was trying to change it up, put some indie villains in there. And I consider him a little bit of an indie, even though he's he's up there in the top villains and comic book world.
Awesome. Yeah.
So that's my number 5, and things start to get a little harder. Top 4, top 4 could change for me, up and down. I don't know how you feel, but it changed for me up and down. So my man Brandon Station, man, thanks for being here. What is your number 4?
Well, I just want to say real quick, I hope Bob is listening.
My
number 4 is Bullseye.
Bullseye.
Yeah. I mean,
nice.
because I had to put him somewhere on here because he is awesome. I mean, he's very accurate. He can throw right. He can throw like playing cards in your head. He throws like he killed Elektra. Come on. He's
That
just
son of a gun.
one of the best Daredevil villains, and he has gone up against other people too, besides Daredevil. And anytime he appears, you gotta go, uh-oh, this is not good.
He is trouble, man. That Bullseye. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? um.
So.
Yeah, he was created in Daredevil 131, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I don't remember reading too much of those earlier issues
Yeah.
until, of course, I started reading the Frank Miller stuff. Then I went back and
Yeah.
read some of that stuff. But yeah,
Hey,
I
I
think
gotta.
Frank Miller. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I was just gonna say real quick. I'm pretty pumped up. I got like the third appearance of Punisher, or not Punisher, Bullseye. Oh my
Bullseye.
gosh.
Okay,
So,
it's okay.
yeah.
Which appearance
So
is that? Which issue is that?
oh, it's like 141, something like that. Yeah.
JT, he should be
So
accurate. His name is Bullseye.
he is accurate. He
Yeah,
is
very
pretty accurate.
accurate. He I love Frank Miller's rendition of him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like he's just obsessed with Daredevil, like
He
obsessed with him
is.
so much. Like like he like is in jail. He want to break out of jail just to so
He'll,
obsessed with him that he wants to be Daredevil's biggest villain. And he talk about
yeah.
the death of Elektra. So they were talking
Mhm.
about Elektra being the best assassin to get him. He was jealous. He broke out
Yeah.
of jail just to go get her. You know what I mean? That's Bullseye in a nutshell. It's like nobody's allowed to give Daredevil a bigger hard time than him.
No. It's tough
Yeah,
dude. Real
tough,
tough.
tough dude. That's a great uh number four Bullseye, like very dangerous. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I think was it Matthew Rosenberg did a series with him
Uh-huh.
a couple of years ago that I
Yeah.
freaking enjoyed. I thought it was really good. Did you read that one?
I think I read like at least the first issue of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like how he takes a clip and just flicks
Yeah.
it and kills
Paperclip.
someone. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
paperclip just flick in that series.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
takes a few people out with the clips. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And that he I think he's with a therapist or something. He's trying to tell him, you know, you need to do this, this, and that. He don't care. He's killing people right in front of her.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So yeah, Bullseye, great pick, man. Great number four pick, which I guess do you have a favorite storyline for Bullseye or do you,
Oh, it is really hard to beat um, that one Daredevil 181. Very hard to beat that, where he Elektra and him, and then he kills her, and then Daredevil comes after him. Oh man, it's awesome. So,
man, that was heartbreaking. Even Bob said, you know, how much he loved those series and
yeah,
that
yeah,
part. So when
yeah.
we had him on the show. So yeah, man, it's a great number four pick. I'm gonna go over and talk about my number four pick,
Cool.
if I may. Um,
Yes.
I've been going through this list. This is the last one that's probably DC related.
Hmm.
I probably given up too many clues for the top lists, but uh, this guy I had to pick him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like the top villain. You know what I mean? And everybody
Okay.
knows two of my favorite superheroes of all time. One of them is Spider-Man
Yeah.
of anything, and the other one will be. I didn't want to flick you off. I was gonna be like the other one. um, it's the Batman villain right here. You talked about him earlier. You was wondering why I didn't say his name yet, but there's a reason
Yeah.
why he's higher up in my list. And it's hard to put a list together because he ended up being number 4, but he easily could be up there. You know what I mean? Of course, the Joker. You know what I'm saying? Love the Joker. Batman #1. His first appearance, 1940. Very expensive book. I don't think you can get that. I'm hoping for a facsimile one day. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's a Joker. I mean, a lot of people, like, oh, the Joker, he's everywhere. He makes money, man. Like, you put the Joker. There's a the Joker book that's going on right now. That's not really a Joker book, but they put his name on it because it sells. You know what I mean? That's a Commissioner Gordon book. You know what I mean? But what can I say? Everybody knows the Joker already. I don't have to say much about the Joker. At first appearance, people still don't know his origin completely. They think they do, but there 2 Jokers? Is there 3 Jokers? Look, they've had a whole 3 Jokers thing, you know.
I gotta say something about the Joker.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's hard. It's a little hard for me to admit this, but the Joker is my #1 DC guy, villain. So
yeah, nice. Okay, that's awesome. You know what I mean? So if you would have put a DC, if you take one of your Marvels out and you put DC, it would be the Joker. Maybe put him in the #10 or something.
I don't know about #10, but maybe.
Oh wow!
But #5, maybe #5.
Oh really? You would put him that high? Oh, okay. I thought you were like number 11. Why not? You know,
no. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to him.
I think he should be in your honorable mentions then. Like maybe I gave one away for you, but
there you go.
To each his own. So yeah, guys, there's nothing much left to say. The Joker, like he is he can't help himself. You know what I mean? No. He hates Batman so much, but he loves him at the same time. Like he plots and ways to kill the Batman in all these different ways, but he really doesn't want to kill him, because if he kill him, he'll get bored. Like there's a few story arcs that he thought he was dead, and he didn't want to do anything anymore. He didn't want to joke around because he thought Batman was dead. Like if he were to truly kill Batman,
I don't know about
what happened.
I don't know about this. About what Maria, your lady there, said about me and DC. That's funny.
So proud of you, Sam. You and DC aren't strange lovers look alike.
I don't know about that now. Hold the phone on that one, but okay.
Hold the phone.
Yeah.
So as they talking about vaccine shots, good luck to my sister-in-law. She got the 2nd vaccine shot, so I think she'll be fine. She's on there. She's the one that's Aiko. That's her. Like nice. She's appearing in a lot of other people's shots. Reason why I can pronounce it. You know what I mean? But yeah. So top villain Joker. He would be on. Yeah. He even said himself he love him. He's sadistic and all that, but very, very cunning. Very. He could be cunning and he could be like admirable at the same time. He could like psychology of this man is unbelievable. He is smarter than people think he is. That's the reason why he's the Joker. Cause he drove Harley Quinn crazy because she was able to get her to go batty for him. You know what I mean? Get it, batty? No, I'm just kidding. but I don't want to spend the whole night. Maybe one day I'll talk more about Joker. But that was my #4. And I hope everybody liked my #4. My top list, if anybody knows me, knows where I'm going to be going with the top 3. But not about me right now, because it's about you, Sam. What is your #3?
There's a certain guy who he finally made it into a Spider-Man movie. And this guy He is one of my top Spider-Man villains, and I'm talking about Mysterio.
Mysterio.
Yes.
I knew that was coming. I knew
Yeah.
that was coming. That's your homie right there, man. And I already knew doing the show long enough with you. I knew he was gonna be on the list. Number 3, and that's big because if he's on your number 3, the top 2 has to be even bigger because you love this man. So what's about Mysterio you really love? You know what I mean? What is it about him?
Shoot, where do I begin? I mean, first off, his name's Mysterio, and that's pretty cool. And second off, he's from way back. He's been a thorn in Spider-Man's side for many years, and I just really take to this guy because he's like he's like a Hollywood movie guy, and he knows how to set up situations for Spider-Man, and it gets real crazy with the oh my gosh, he shrunk me down. What happened? And then you gotta find your way out of this. And then he's got this craziness. He's got the big bubble head. You don't know what he looks like sometimes. So he's awesome.
Fishbowl he got in his head.
Yeah. He's awesome though. Yeah.
He is awesome villain. Like, you just never know like when he's trying to trick you. Like you never know it's real because he's trying to manipulate people all the time with his powers. And I remember him driving Spider-Man crazy in one of the comics. Of course, he appeared in number 13 of Spider-Man, but one of the later ones after that. And he kind of put everything upside down to make Peter Parker, the whole room, the chairs and everything upside down to make Peter Parker think.
I have that comic.
What number is that issue?
That's issue 24.
Issue 24. Wow, you have that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you have it. So you explain that issue a little more, what he did to Spider-Man there?
Okay, well, Spider-Man was feeling kind of like he needed a counselor because he felt things were getting kind of crazy in his life. And so he went to this counselor, and this counselor was secretly Mysterio. And then this counselor made Spider-Man believe that he was going crazy. And the furniture was like up on the ceiling, and everything was upside down. And eventually he found out that this counselor was Mysterio.
With them great Mysterio. Yeah, always messing with him. And always I freaking love Jake Gyllenhaal doing Mysterio in that movie.
He did excellent.
What they did for that movie, how he reacted, like you knew he's a villain, but he still tricked you, even though you knew he was a villain. The way he did that heel turn real quick, you know what I mean, in that movie. The special effects in it, they modernized it, but you knew they were gonna do that. With theater and all that, and that movie was fantastic. I know there are people that like still didn't like it. I don't know why, bro. That movie just it was so fantastic and all that. Theatrics in that movie and yeah, what a jerk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then of course in that movie, spoiler, he reveals Peter Parker's secret identity and stuff like that. So everything that's going on now, you know what I mean, goes on.
We'll see how that goes.
But I don't blame you for putting him in your top list. He is an awesome villain. He is one of my favorites too. Growing up, I didn't get to read a lot of the earlier stuff till I got older, but he was still a big part of the comics around that time. Growing up in the 90s,
I'm pretty sure I've read everything with Mysterio.
Yeah. I read. I don't know if I read everything, but I'm close to you. I read a lot of them, and excellent villain. And I forgot where I was going with it, but I loved him. Like I'm always going to the animated series, Spider-Man the animated series. He was great in that too. Oh, that series was so good. They portrayed a lot of the villains great in that movie. Probably why I enjoy a lot of these villains. But great number 3, and since we're talking Spider-Man, and I haven't had, I don't think, any Marvel villains
No.
in this list so far, but that just happened that way. But now we
Yeah.
have one, guys.
Okay.
We have one, and this list is so hard. Like I said, these three could go up and down for me, up and down for me, because I special
Yeah.
place in my heart. I even left one that's on your list, and
Right.
that's not in this list because I wanted to add other people. Because not my whole list would be Spider-Man people. You know what I mean? I didn't want it, or Batman. So I didn't
Yeah.
want to do that. So number three, I think it was your number 7. I think it was the Green Goblin. You know what I
Oh, that
mean?
was number 8.
Your number 8, the Green Goblin. The Green Goblin.
Ah, scared me.
What can you do, man? That Norman Osborn being the Green Goblin, the whole story, like you said, the Gwen Stacy and all that. Child Within with his son, one of my favorite all-time storylines leading up to his Harry Osborn's death at that time.
Yeah.
And what can you say, man? There was like, we said it earlier, there's not gonna be much more I can share. I said my
Yeah.
favorites. He's like the Joker to Batman. He really is. A lot of people say Doc Ock. Doc Ock put Peter Parker through hell, but
Yeah.
Doc Ock at the time did not take out his girlfriend, the one he loved. You know what I mean? So
No.
I think that trumps it a little bit. And then his best friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No. Okay.
But
I got you.
I'm sorry. I know there's gonna be bumping heads between me and you in a minute, but
Yeah. Yeah.
in a minute. But again, sidekick and all that.
Yeah.
Great villain, one of the all-time great villains. Like I said, Joker to Batman, Green Goblin, Norman Osborn to Spider-Man. That's my number 3.
Okay.
We already discussed it earlier. You want anything else to add to it? Because we pretty much said everything earlier, right?
Just that the Green Goblin is just a major thorn in Spider-Man's side. Major.
For years to come, even when he was dead and his son took over. You know what I mean?
Like the shadow of
Supposedly
the Green
dead.
Goblin. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Whoo. We went to from 3 to 10. We went from 10 to 3, and like, I'm hot right now. It's getting
Are you
rough.
okay?
It's getting rough
Oh,
because
wow.
we got the top 2.
Yes.
We're gonna name 2 more, but we'll name 1 more. Then we go to honorable mentions. What is your number 2?
Okay. Well, earlier, just a little while ago, you were like, "Oh, about Green Goblin." Okay. Well, let me break it down for you. This guy is my number 2, and his name is Doc Ock. And listen to me. Listen to
Oh,
me. Let me break it down for you. Let me break it down.
all right.
He was set to marry Aunt May. Okay, there's that. He's been a thorn in Spider-Man's side for many years.
He has.
Uh, uh, like what was it? 10 years ago? 9 years ago? Superior. He was the superior Spider-Man.
It's a superior Spider-Man. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
took over. He took
Yeah.
over the book. Peter Parker took a backseat. I'm like, this guy needs to be in the top. So that's why he made number 2.
Yeah, that's it. He's not in my countdown. Not because, like I said, not because he normally would be there, but like I wanted to add other people on this list to make it a little interesting. I didn't want to put all Spider-Man villains and stuff in there.
Yeah.
But it was hard for me to put which one. I was gonna put one or the other.
Yeah.
I think anybody would rival Doc Ock with Green Goblin as his top villains. Those are 2. While Batman has 1, the Joker. A lot of people could say other villains, maybe Ra's al Ghul, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But there's only 1 for Batman, like the biggest. You know what I mean? Spider-Man has 2. He has 2. He has Green Goblin and Doc Ock. So Us Spider-Man fans, one or the other. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
fighting between two favorite kids, choosing between two favorite. Not really, but you know what I mean.
That's my
Which one's
kid.
your favorite villain? But I cannot say he's been on a thorn on Spider-Man's side too. I think for what happened and everything, they go toe to toe. It's a coin toss of which one is. Like I said, I think Joker to Batman, it's Green Goblin to Spider-Man, but you could throw
Okay.
Doc Ock in the mix because he's
A little bit.
uh, a fantastic villain that like I said would be on my list. It would be on the top list right here, the top five. If it wasn't
Yeah.
for my tweaking a little bit in my list, but keep on keeping on. Do you
That's
have
funny.
a favorite Doc Ock storyline?
There's so many
Favorite
to
kid.
choose from. There's so many. Yeah, yeah, right. There's so many to choose from. But man, I gotta go. And why is it that we are always bound by our childhood? We are always bound by things. They just attach to you and they don't let go. I gotta go with as it was an annual Spider-Man annual. It had Punisher and Doc Ock wanted to poison the 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 printing of the Daily Bugle. He wanted to poison it, and he made Punisher look like a chump, and Spider-Man had to come in and save the city. So yeah, there you go.
Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, man, that was a great storyline. There's
Oh,
so
you
many
read
good
it?
ones with Doc Ock, just like Green Goblin. There's so much, and there's a little bit, might be a little bit more with Doc Ock because he didn't die like Norman Osborn did, but then again, they follow up with Harry Osborn, so I
That's
guess
true.
they keep going with that. But Doc Ock, my favorite will always be, like I said, childhood always reigns supreme.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sinister Six would be
Yep.
my favorite. My
Okay.
favorite, like Doc Ock storyline. You know,
Cool.
if I don't remember, they went through all the titles with that
Yeah.
series and
Yeah.
stuff like that. My favorite read. I love the part where he was in the limo and one of the minions like did something and didn't do it right. Doc Ock got mad and
Mm.
sucked him in and killed him
I think that was it. I think that was in a Spectacular Spider-Man. Yeah.
in the spectacular. Yeah, yeah, because I
Yeah.
think they did a little more of that
Yeah.
kind of stuff in spectacular than amazing. The amazing they kept them a little more clean, and then the
Yeah.
spectacular they did the
Well,
dirty stuff in that.
he was he was he was like wearing like a white suit, and he was in better shape. It looked like so he was vicious too. Yeah.
Very vicious. So yeah, like I said, great feeling. That was my great storyline for that. So I'm
Nice.
gonna go on and talk about my number two. And my number two, like I said, always changes, but he started to be in my top list more and more as I go reading more about him and all that. He was always in my list. And in Spider-Man the animated series, where I was always mention, you know what I mean, another
Mhm.
Spider-Man. Yes, you guys knew
Yeah.
this. Another Spider-Man villain. You know what I mean? Which Rocky Lee Brown, great
Okay.
voice,
Yeah.
played him, and of course, the Spider-Man. Uh, yes, I can deal with the Spider-Man. You know, a little bit. You know, it's not it's good. It's bad for business if he keeping him around this long. But I don't want to kill him neither. Maybe we'll do something about it. I don't know why I gotta sound like that, but everybody gets it. His first appearance, Amazing Spider-Man, number 50, July
Yes.
of 1967. You guys know him, John Romita Sr., the artist for this. So love him. One of my favorite Spider-Man runs is the John Romita Lee run. That might be my most. I love that run the most. And of
Oh,
course,
I
the
understand.
Kingpin of crime. The Kingpin, guys.
Yes.
I know I went around the corner and all that, but what can I say, man? The Kingpin. Um, what can I say? You love the Kingpin too, right? Like, who doesn't
Oh
love the
yeah.
Kingpin? You know.
He's awesome.
And I
Yeah.
I know he went over to Daredevil You know, Frank Miller used them a lot, and
Sure.
kind of like they were kind of done with him with Spider-Man and all that, so they switched him over to Daredevil because it fit
A
more
little
the
bit.
Daredevil was
Yeah. Yeah.
doing with the Daredevil. But love the character, love that early stuff. You know what I mean, with the cane and all that, and he's tricking Spider-Man and uh I forgot the name of they didn't want to say mafia, so they had another name for it. So I forgot the name.
Yeah.
But what was it? Magia, something like that. It was
The Magia. Yeah.
Magia. Yeah, that was the. So he was the kingpin of crime. You know what I mean? He took over. Like it doesn't matter who was the top dog. He went and
Yeah.
took over the whole city. Ended up being his city.
Yeah.
There's a lot of storylines with him, especially with
Yeah.
the. I remember the one with Rose, his son. That was one of my
Yeah.
storylines. Remember seeing that in Web of Spider-Man and all that. Not
Yeah.
everybody's favorite, but yeah, the Kingpin of crime, and
Yeah.
I could deal with a little bit of Batman, but he's not in the Marvel universe, so what can I
Sure.
do? So yeah, that's my guy, the Kingpin. I love I can't get his name right now. The Netflix series he played a good I can't get his name right now. The actor
Um.
for the Netflix series.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this is horrible,
Um.
man. I should be better at this. But
Um.
there was
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. I don't. Yeah.
JT said Herm just seduced me. Uh uh Favorite station. Sorry I'm late. Just got home from work. Definitely catching everything on the rewind. Yo, no worries, man.
Yeah.
Station, brother. Always appreciate you coming on real quick. Vincent something.
Vincent
Vincent
Garotha something. It starts with a G.
Delfino?
That,
Delfino? Vincent, you know
okay,
what I'm
maybe it don't start with a G. I
saying?
don't know.
Yeah, so do you have any favorite storyline for the Kingpin? Anything you remember?
Man, there is so many. Oh man, but I. Well, I mean, I don't want to pick on Kingpin here, but there was a time Kingpin did Kingpin went way overboard. He decided to hire a hitman to shoot. Uh, I think he wanted to shoot Mary Jane, but he hit Aunt May. And then Spider-Man decided to go back in black, baby, and he went into prison to confront the Kingpin. And well, let's just say your guy Kingpin got slapped around a bit. So, so yeah,
Really, that's just
yeah,
a bad day for the Kingpin. But if
yeah,
he wasn't in his vicinity, around his area, he would whoop Daredevil's butt a little bit. You know what I mean? That's why I'm thinking.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He would. Yeah,
No, but like he was very fast, very
yeah,
agile for a big
he
guy.
is.
Everybody
Yeah,
underestimated him. Like
Spider-Man did it all the time back in the early days. Yeah,
yeah, he always called him Fat Boy or something like that.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, thank you, Vincent Del Frio. That's the reason
yeah.
why
Yeah, okay. I thought it started with a G.
I can't even say his name right. Look at that. Both villains do it best.
They
Yeah,
do it best.
they do
Yes.
it best. And the return of the Echo.
Oh no!
Oh no, the technical difficulties all day. Damn. This happens right when we get close to number one.
Okay.
All right, so
You want me to? Oh wait, it's my turn. So,
your turn, but your turn is number one, so we're gonna take a quick pause on the number one.
okay.
Um, so what we're gonna do is honorable mention, real quick. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm gonna talk about my honorable mentions real quick.
Sure.
Let you think about yours. I already gave you one, so so real quick, the echoing is killing me. So I guess if you could mute yourself so I could uh honorable mentions, guys. I'm sorry for the echo, man. We were having such a great show. We started late because of technical difficulties on my end. But honorable mentions, of course, number 11. Um, Sam mentioned them. You know what I mean? And I mentioned them before. He was not in my top 10 because I didn't want to put anybody, over anybody. But of course, Dr. Octopus. I put him in number 11. He deserves to be higher in the list, but I wanted to fit a lot of people in. You know what I mean? So there you go, Sam. He's up there anyway. And like I said, he'll probably be in the top 5 if it wasn't for the fact that I was doing what I was doing with the list. But keep on keeping on. We talked about a lot about Mysterio, Doctor Octopus. My next one was Magneto. Um, and this one was a little tough because he's kind of like I don't know if you call him an anti-hero because he kind of in the beginning of the comics he did do mean things, and then eventually he got he it was an explanation where 1 second, he did things because of what he believed in his mutant with the mutants and all that. He believed he was doing right for his mutant for his people, and a very political reason. So that's why I didn't put it in my top 10. I went with Apocalypse, but Magneto is great villain too. You know what I mean? When he's a villain. Right now he's in between. You don't know what he is right now with everything that's happening these days. But here's my next pick. Like he'll be like, I don't like to put. That's why I said 3 honorable mentions. And then my third honorable mention is I had to put him in here. My man Henry from Maniacs of New York. You know what I'm saying? An aftershock comic. And another indie. I had to throw him in there. Everybody knows how much I love this guy. Jason Voorhees. So my 3 honorable mentions. Like I said, I had a humongous list of like 36, 37 villains, not even counting video games and other kind of movies or other kind. Just try to do more comic booky, and it was just tough for me. I spent really few hours just trying to do this list. So my honorable mentions. Sam, you can unmute yourself if you thought of any honorable mentions. One of them being the Joker. So
yeah. You're right. The Joker. Yeah. But I'd have to also go with Cletus Cassidy, Carnage, and then Magneto would be up there too. So,
you know what's funny is I'm just gonna do the echo for a minute because I like our interaction. Those are great honorable mentions. Like I said, it's hard. This list is so hard to make, and it's getting worse. You know what I mean? Especially like me, that I threw some indie people in there because I felt like they mean a lot to me. So uh, I'm gonna list off my top 10 real quick. Then we're gonna go to number one. Uh, my top 10. I'm just gonna go down my list right here, just in case I forgot anything. My number 10 was Omni Man. My number 9 was the Violator, the Clown slash the Clown. My number 8 was Apocalypse. My number 7 was Bane. My number 6 was Doomsday. My number 5 was Shredder. My number 4 was the Joker. My number 3 was the Green Goblin. And number 2 was the Kingpin. And now, Sam, I'll mute myself.
okay. My number 10 was the Hobgoblin. Number 9 was the Zorby Man. Number 8, the Green Goblin. Number 7, the Juggernaut. Number 6 was Rhino. Number 5 was the big head guy, the leader. Number 4 was Bullseye. Number 3 was Mysterio, and number 2 was Doc Ock. There you go.
So now you get to say what your number 1 is. Let us know.
I will say, guess what? This is very simple for me because this guy is the epitome of a villain, and he's, to me, he's the best Marvel villain going. Okay, you can't beat this. My number one is Doctor Doom, because this guy, he's been back, he's been all the way back in the early '60s with the Fantastic Four, and then it just continued on throughout everywhere. He's gone against all the greats, all the great heroes. They've had a hard time with him. This guy is tough to beat anytime you see him. So there you go.
No, nice, nice. Doctor Doom was one that I left out of the list that was hard for me to do because I love Fantastic Four. He's one of my top villains too. But like I said, process of elimination. I had to like do what I had to do. Um, it was hard to leave him out. He should have been on my list because Doctor Doom's a great villain. You can't go wrong with the Doctor Doom villain, and how he's got to be, he's got to be the ruler, and he tries to rule everything, but he has that Furia and everything, and he just it's his way, and he just believes what he says is right, no matter what. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if he's wrong, whether he has to take someone out or something for it. He really believes that, and then somehow, in the deepness of his heart, he does care for Reed Richards. I really believe that, but he's never gonna show it. You know what I mean? Because he could have taken him out so many times, and he didn't, and that's why. So, so great pick. Great pick, Sam. Anything else? You have a storyline that you want to talk about that you love that made him your number one? He's your number one.
Okay, guess what? Again, it's so very hard to pick a storyline, but there is one book that comes to mind, and I gotta go with issue 258 of Fantastic Four, which is, guess what? The Fantastic Four don't even show up in that. It's all Doctor Doom and how he is going to go after the Fantastic Four, trying to crush them. So there you go. That's it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so there's a lot of storylines I could go for, but I'm gonna go the cheap way out. My one of my earlier, like, I got to win the Mark Waringo Mark Wade omnibus from Pop Culture Philosophers Contest. I think it's a 3,000 subscriber giveaway, and I won it. So I was very excited when I got it. I read it right away. One of my favorite runs of Fantastic Fours, and a Doom story arc in there had him go to where his roots were, and go find like his ex-girlfriend or something like that. And you remember that, and he found her, right? And you think like he was gonna find it. No, he wanted to like make sure she like forgives him or something like that, and it didn't work out. Once he said yeah, that's all he needed to do his bidding. You know what I mean? And at one point he was trying to take over hell. You know what I mean? That was the start of the whole thing. You remember that storyline?
And guess what? I remember that storyline very well. He he killed his ex-girlfriend, and he wore like armor, some kind of armor, magic armor that was like part of her skin. Part of her skin is gross. I don't know. It's like this was a Doctor Doom on a whole new level. So
Yeah, man, that was gross. So that Waringo, great art. rest in peace, my man. He was awesome in it. Mark Waid, great run. Suggested to anyone to read that run. That's one of my favorites. I think you can find it on it, but still, I think they sold out once and then they reprinted it. I don't know, maybe they didn't, but maybe it's sold out by now. But it's one of my favorite runs. Anybody could get a chance to read that. Maybe on Marvel Unlimited. Go check out that run, the Mark Waringo, Mark Wade one. Love it. So I'm gonna go to my number one, and Sam mentioned it in his honorable mentions, and I was flip flopping between who would I put number one, and the reason why I put one over the other because the other one's an anti-hero type throughout. Even though when he was a villain, and I'm talking about Venom, when he was a villain, he scared the crap out of me early, but that only lasted a couple of years until he became an anti-hero kind of dude. So I left him out of the list, or not. He would have been my number one, but my number one is There Will Be Carnage. You know what I'm saying? Because I love symbiotes. He was the bad guy version of Venom with no feelings. You know, at least Brock did have some feelings, and the symbiote, his symbiote, Venom, kind of had a little bit of feelings, and they kind of followed each other. You know what I mean? They like usually the symbiote takes over, but Brock was able to. I'm not saying control the symbiote, but he was able to like not let it control him too much. They were like they both hated Spider-Man and at the time and they were able to get over it for what all different reasons, the whole storyline from the past. But keep on keeping on. My favorite villains is Carnage because Cletus Cassidy was a crazy man. You know what I mean? There was no turning him. He was a psychopath galore. Take out whoever. Didn't care. This is one guy that Spider-Man really considered killing because Spider-Man don't kill. Because if he didn't take him out somehow, he was gonna take out so many lives. So many lives. Serial killer galore. Of course, there's always first cameos, first this, Amazing Spider-Man 359, stuff like that. First full appearance, 361, which is one of my all-time favorite issues. When I first got back into comics that one time before I stopped and then I came back, that was one of the comics I made sure I had. I was lucky to find it for like $5 because now it's first appearance, full appearance of Carnage is way up there. Even the reprints is way up there, and I can't even get me a copy of the reprint. So love me Carnage. Reason why he is my number one. He's not gonna be in a lot of people's number one, but you know the kid in me, like you were saying, nostalgia takes over sometimes on these lists, and Spider-Man villains ends up taking over sometimes. That's why the top three is my Spider-Man villains on my list. So Carnage, I haven't seen the movie yet because my lady's gonna take her second dose. Hopefully, this movie's still in the theater. If it's not, I watch it when it comes out. But love that. Love Carnage. Do you have any Carnage story? Because he was in your honorable mentions.
Hey, I was able to watch that movie over the weekend. Woody Harrelson, I will just say Woody Harrelson, good job, buddy. Good job. Now, my favorite storyline for it would be Maximum Carnage. There you go. Yeah, there you go. There you go. But Maximum Carnage, that's my favorite Carnage all time. So there you go.
I love the reaction. I love Manny Venom, that big softy. Yeah, he didn't get the job done. Oh man, like yeah, I freaking vent. You can't go wrong with Carnage. Our lists are amazing. I love the list. I love your list, Sam. Um, like you sent me the list before. I already had a list planned out. Um, so there wasn't like, oh, he has this, and let me take him out. There was none of that. This literally was our natural list. So I know we got a little late. Brandon has a show that's supposedly started, I think, but since we started late, he's the closer. Go over there, check out his show out if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Sam, I'm probably gonna hold off on my show and tell for next time. I didn't have a lot anyway. If do you want to have a show and tell, or you want to save that for the Ever Loving show? Okay, okay. So Sam's gonna do his Ever Loving show. Uh, maybe I'll go on there. I don't know if I'll be home. If I'm home, maybe I'll show what I was gonna show today. It wasn't a big list or nothing like that. It's a few little things that was cool that I got here. But I'm gonna move on. We have a top 5 least favorite. Sam, I kind of like want to save this for a future show. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe like if we have time next week, we'll go over it because we started so late. That way people could go over it and watch Brandon. And Missing Link. What do you think?
I agree with you.
Sam.
What?
I said, tell us what you got going this week. Any nature walks?
Okay. And a little bit of rain coming down, but that's not going to stop that. We're gonna get the walking going. I got my Ever Loving show that's happening on Friday, as you know, and I might be talking about an extra special something that I will be adding to my birthday show that people are going to want to be checking out. That's going to be a ways off yet, so you want to listen to that. So.
But Sam, I thought every day was your birthday. No. All right, Sam. Thanks for that, guys. That's the end. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Ding, ding, ding that bell for notifications for future videos so you can check us out, me and Sam. And real quick, I'm going to discuss what we're going to talk about next week real quick. I added it on here. We're finally going a new beginning. Well, not really, but we're going beyond. Spider-Man Beyond review. The first 3 issues, the 75, 76, 77 came out today. I can't wait to read it. I've been enjoying it. I'm sure Sam been enjoying it too, right, Sam? So we're gonna review that. Finally, we're caught up with that new series. I don't know if Nick Kicks is still in here, but he's happy about that one. So that's what we're gonna do next week for Whiplash Wednesday. So guys, join us there. And then of course, right, you could go over right now and join my man Brandon, and I think Missing Link too. As they talk, they're already programs already in progress. Check them out. Whiplash Wednesday. They're closing it off. Thank you so much. Thanks for your patience. Crazy day, crazy start yet again. Can't stand it when that happens, but thanks for standing in, hanging in there with us. I have my hall show tomorrow at 4 p.m. So I'll post that on the Insta and everything. Thanks everyone for everything. Thank you, Nick, for that video earlier today with me and Phable. Check that out on the rewind. Until next time, guys. Station and peace out.